and there's follow, and I
Okay.
think follow gives you your notification.
Right, so you want to make sure you're following too, so that way, as soon as we hit live, just like this,
Yeah.
then
live right
you know.
now.
So it just now came up, see?
Live right now.
So there we go. All right, cool.
Look at that.
Are we all cooking?
We are
we cooking with
hot
gas?
and ready to go. All I
right.
got to do is push this timer, and we're set.
All right.
Okay.
And,
Go ahead.
okay. 3. You ready to go?
Yep.
All right, good. All right. Hey, Rich, what are we talking about today?
Hey, today we're going to talk about exterior doors.
Exterior doors. You mean something like this right here? It's just like, all right, cool. All right. No, other way. All right, Fuzzy, roll that intro.
Here I come to save the day.
Welcome to Mighty House. This is a radio show for people with problems, home improvement problems, that is, and for people who want common sense guidance on how to build green and live a more sustainable lifestyle. Send an email or call into the show. The Mighty House crew is on the job. This is Mighty House.
All right, there we go. What happened to our little logo thing that popped up there, Fuzzy? Oh, see? Come on, man. Fuzzy's having a day today.
Because I got echoes, but
Yeah, Fuzzy's having a day today, so we got to keep him on his toes. So there we go. All right, so we're going to talk about
practice this a little bit.
we're going to talk about some entry doors, and not just all your doors. This is just the front of your house, or maybe the side of your house, something like that, right?
Or your garage.
Garage, something like that, right? And the basic setup is everybody that needs a front entry door, they don't like it, or they're going to replace it for whatever reason. Let's just go over a couple of options here and what makes up the door. And you want to start with that, Rich?
Thought you were going to start with news, but
Oh, do we have some news? If you've got news, then let's do some.
yeah, I got some news. This was just in the NARI newsletter.
Okay.
So it says new research came out, and this is by people from little tiny schools like MIT and Harvard and Boston University.
Okay.
Licensing status is not important to consumers.
What?
People don't care about licensing. It doesn't even come up on whether they want to hire you or not. They don't care.
Right.
It's all about price.
Yeah, well, and I was just talking to a realtor today. I said, we have to pull permits when we're doing these remodels and stuff. He goes, no, people don't care whether you pull a permit or not. They walk in. If it looks nice, they're going to go with it. So, come on. There's certain things, licensing and permitting. How do you make that more important to the homeowner?
Yeah, so across all platforms, the researchers determined that licensing status essentially made no difference to consumers' hiring decisions. So, you do that, you hire a non-licensed contractor, and things go south, blame yourself. That's simple. You brought it on yourself.
That's right. Yeah. So I don't know what I mean. That's tough. You have to look for licensed and bonded. I mean, yes, they're going to cost more because they're spending more. Their overhead's more. So they're not just working out of the back of their truck or their station wagon. So it does make a difference.
More than likely.
You would like to think so. Yeah. So all right.
Okay.
So you want
to talk about parts of a door?
Yes. Door 1. There, Fuzzy. There we go. You step back off to the side here.
So, we talk about doors. We talk directly about the slab.
The slab of the door.
Slab. That's the door.
Whoops, that way.
And then, and your glazing would be the glass here.
Right.
Or it could be there in the side light.
Correct. Yeah, that part right there. That's this piece right here. It's just called a side light, and it's part of the main frame of the door. So the whole door is framed out, but then inside in that overall frame is the side light and the door with a little piece of jam running down through the middle there.
Right. And I'm not a big fan of side lights. It just weakens the whole door structure, and they're harder to adjust.
Well, what's a lock for, Rich?
Keep honest people out.
Okay, I just double checking.
Hurricanes.
Yeah, I was just double checking. Okay. So,
Yes. So then you got, the other parts are your sill. That's that part right down there.
over by there, this piece right down in there, that's your
Right.
door
And
sill.
now, the sill's a real important piece because you want to make sure it's an adjustable sill.
Yes.
So that way when you get the door in and shimmed, you adjust that sill to meet the sweep on the bottom of the door.
Right. And over time, if the house settles or if there's any movement in the door, you're not taking the door off and cutting it. You're just adjusting that threshold a little bit to make sure it's sitting tight and sealing up to the bottom of the door.
Right. And then like there on that door right there, you've got like the 2 little holes drilled.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So,
Right there, this piece?
yes.
Okay.
So yes, that's for your handle set. And that can be in a number of different ways. That's bored for a standard handle and deadbolt, I would assume. And, you'd have a long handle with the thumb latch. You have a lever with a multi-point, like some French doors and stuff for exterior have multi-point locks.
Right. I
Thing that would be.
I think we've got some
Go ahead.
pictures of that, Fuzzy. You got there's the other, that's another regular door showing all the parts to it.
Right.
And then the rough framing piece is the header, which is on the top. And then you've got king stud and your cripple sitting inside. The cripple holds that header up. So that's how it looks inside, hopefully, inside the wall before you set your door. So hopefully, yes. We've opened plenty that were not like that.
Right.
You want to go to the door lock sets? Now, did you cover over the different kinds of lock sets, or?
No, I only very, very rarely just basically touched on it.
Okay, so there's a go back to that first one there.
That's an antique mortise set.
Yes. So, and that makes a big difference now because this piece goes back in the door. That whole edge gets cut out, and that lock set gets back into the door. And this can take several hours to install. And then you'd have to drill the holes that do go through that door this way. They may not line up. So there, and in fact, you can probably see that knob down here doesn't line up with the knob outside. So it's just they don't line up. So you really have to be careful when you're installing those. Try the next slide there, Denny.
But we only use those in
like
high-end wood doors. You very rarely see those today.
Yes, yeah, a more expensive door, more handle set is going to come this mortised way. And there you can see that box, that mortise box goes all the way back into the door, 2.5 to 3 inches sometimes, and possibly more. And then they're 5, maybe 6 inches tall. So there's a lot of setup.
They're not that hard to install. You just got to have good sharp chisels and some
good drill bits. Yep, and then
drill bits, sharp chisels.
And then try the next one there, Fuzzy. There you go. So now there's your, that's the lock set that would go on that door that we were showing. So
yeah, and that's primarily what you would see today, except now we're starting to move away from that and going right to the push buttons because that way you can connect it to your phone.
Yeah. Now I didn't pull up any pictures of that, but there are Schlage
that
and
one there still requires a key and some physical effort.
Right. But there are a lot of manufacturers now, Yale and Schlage, they have the wireless, the keyless stuff that you can come in, punch in a code, the door automatically unlocks. So, and
Or you connect it to your Wi-Fi, and if you need to let somebody in, you can punch in the code and temporarily open it. You can actually give out a temporary code that's only good for a couple of hours. That way somebody can come in, clean your house, but cannot get back in.
Right, and you can set windows of time for that to work, and that's pretty cool.
There are some pretty interesting things with the technology if you have a need.
Yeah, it works pretty well, and so, but this would be a standard lock set. That's a separate deadbolt, and then you have your lock set there that goes through there. So, we got 2
when
minutes.
we talk about stuff,
Yep.
just before you move slides,
Yep.
and we have a couple of minutes left, look at these two pieces here. Those are called your back sets. That's for the deadbolt. This one down here,
Yep.
that one, come on, that one there is that's your back set for your handle set.
Right.
So when we talk about back sets, they come in 2 lengths typically, 2 3/4 and 2 3/8. So the 2 3/8 back set would be typically used on an interior door, and majority of exterior doors are 2 3/4 or more.
Correct. Correct. And
that's also to keep your knuckles from hitting the jams when you open the door.
yeah,
Hate knuckle busters.
yeah, because you grab it and it hits it grabs in and it'll scrape your knuckles clean off. Yeah, with some of them. So, so that works pretty well. A couple other points that we didn't get. Can you back up a few pictures there?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Because we can go back to the. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. No, you got to go back. There we go. Go one more.
Your other back.
There you go. So on the we've got the door jamb on the sides here. There's the door stop, and then you've got hinges. And you talked about a couple different ways of doing the hinges there too, didn't you? There's or at least you had notes for it, I think. There's the square butt hinge, the older style. It's square that fits in there, that's recessed. And now the ones that come off that are off of a factory machine, they're rounded on the corners. So when you're trying to reset those rounded ones, you need a special tool to chisel it out, or you got to be real careful with a knife to go ahead and, if you're going to mortise it and hang that door slab into an existing jamb. So when you're
sharp chisels.
Yes, sharp chisels. And when you're doing this and you're going to hang that in there, you want to check the hinges, the sizes, and all that stuff, and make sure they're going to fit. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more on entry doors right after this. You're listening to.
This is Mighty House. Mighty House will return.
Clear.
All right, there we go. All right, so from the studio audience, Rich, we've got a question. Why is
the
it
studio audience?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course you do.
Come on.
We're getting popular over here.
Yeah. We're charging extra for that to come and sit in the studio audience. So in the studio audience, we had a question: why would you have 2 or 3 or possibly 4 hinges? What would be the difference or the reason for all of that?
The reason would be the weight of the door.
So
Just heavier the door, the larger the hinges, and the more that are necessary.
correct. So, interior doors that are hollow core, you'll end up with just 2 3-inch hinges. And then you get to a bigger exterior door that's oak or something like that, it's heavy, you'll get 3 4, and they're even 4 inches tall, 5 inches tall. So,
we use a lot of bearing ones because of that.
right. And then the hinges themselves, I mean, are we going to... Rich is drinking his apple juice. So.
Well, I am ready to go when you guys are.
Okay, there we go.
Down here, man.
Okay.
All right, so next segment.
This is the meat of it all.
The meat. Oh, okay. We're going to try and fit all this into one segment. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Stand by.
No, we'll just talk about the types. You can fit that. 13 minutes is a lot of time, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Here I come to save the day.
Here they come to save the day.
I don't know if you're
This
getting any
is
comments up there on
Mighty
Facebook and
House.
stuff too, but you can check it out. Fuzzy's driving the bus, so he's not looking. If you guys are making comments, just we'll answer them probably at the end of the show here. And he's going to check it out. All right, cool. So you can join us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Periscope Live right now. Brought to you in part by Mr. Floor. And Mr. Floor cleaning products, you can buy them all over. Just go on to MrFloor.com. Buy them all over the country. You don't have to be in the Chicagoland area here to get them. And it's got all different types of cleaning. So it's not just wood floors. If you've got tile or granite or stone, porcelain, he's got a cleaner for it. And they really work great. They're all non-toxic and environmentally safe. There you go. And if somebody wanted to sign up
So
for
they
the
don't
new...
work well as bug killers?
No. It doesn't work as good at bug killers because that doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
if you want to sign up for the newsletter, how can we do that, Rich?
Well, you make sure you get over to mightyhouse.net, click on the Contact Us page. Just give us your first and last name, your email address. Scroll on down and click on Boom, done.
There you go. And we'll send out possibly 1, maybe 2 if I screw up the newsletter and don't put the links in correctly. Then you might get a second one. But hopefully you're only getting 1 because I've got everything set up correctly. So we've changed it a little bit. We're actually putting links to the previous show and the current show, so you can watch those, and you'll get a link to that stuff, and then anything else that we've been talking about, you'll have links to that stuff there.
I've only got one comment on YouTube.
Yeah, what was
and
that?
it's from Bruce.
Oh, hey, Bruce.
He says, "Where is the woman?"
Yes, we have 3 cups, 3 headsets,
3 headsets, yep.
2 peoples.
And 2 peoples. Robbie's off on vacation, so that I forgot to talk about that. So she'll be off for the next couple of weeks, but she's on vacation enjoying some sunshine since there is none here in Chicago and hasn't been for 8 days straight now. So Rich shaking his head.
How you do that anymore? I go 2 days down here with no sun, and I'm ready to freak.
Yeah.
I do remember those days.
Yeah. So
Hard.
Bruce, she'll be back soon. Don't worry. Right now, this is all going smooth. We're talking about what we want to. We're getting things done. She'll be here to screw us up real
We
soon.
haven't been derailed.
Yeah. No derailments.
Ken says hi, and so does Casey.
All right. Hey, guys.
Nice.
All right. So let's get into what
going
kind
back
of
to
doors.
Exterior doors or entry doors.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different choices out there, and we'll start with probably the most common or most widely used, or at least it was wood.
Wood. And it's not
So
wood.
exterior or wood entry doors, I think, are probably the nicest looking doors.
Yeah.
Like that. That's a beautiful entryway.
Right. All
But
solid.
there's keys to this. You notice that house in that photo has a large overhang,
Uh-huh.
which keeps the sun off the door, keeps the weather off the door. So that door will look pretty good for at least 4 or 5 years before it'd have to be refinished.
But see this? See that right down through there? Do you see that? How there's a different shade in that door? That's why I picked this.
Yep.
And then this side light is different than this side, the color, because that's where the sun is hitting it. So the sun is bleaching that door out.
Wait, wood doesn't like the sun?
No.
What about all the trees?
No. Well, not once they're dead trees.
Deadwood does not like the sun.
Okay.
Dead wood, yeah. And it's actually, the door is fine. The wood is fine. It's the stain that's fading.
Right. It just
So that door would have to be sanded down, refinished, and it's pretty common with wood entry doors to have to refinish them on a regular basis. Up north, if you use salts for de-icing your front porch, the salts will eat at the door as well. So.
And then if they get dried out by the sun too much, then those panels and the rails and all that stuff can actually split and crack.
Shrink.
And I've seen some so bad you could stick a piece of paper through the entire door because it's dried up
So the
that
point
much.
is, a wood door, even though they're gorgeous, is not the most practical thing for every person.
See, there's a bunch of different doors, and I liked all those doors. There's a bunch of nice wood doors. They got a beautiful color to them. So wood.
Yeah, and I order from a company out in California all the time that they'll send me just a slab, or they'll send it to me, like, I'll prep it as a pre-hung, and then break it all down and flat pack it. And I can do all the pre-finishing and then assemble the frame with caulks and everything, and then hang the door, and then actually install it as a pre-hung unit myself.
Right.
And it's way less expensive than most door companies, so I like it quite a bit.
Yeah. No, it really looks pretty cool.
Hello, Mike. Thanks for joining us. And Casey says, you need to talk about locks. They are not all equal.
Oh, no. And then we kind of touched on them there. Maybe if we got time towards the end here, we'll get into the locks.
We'll
systems.
revisit locks.
Yeah, we kind of just grazed over them a little bit.
Devices for keeping honest people out of your house.
That's right. So then next up is the steel doors.
And
Right.
steel is the most common door installed now.
Right. Well, see, there's just a nasty average steel door. But
Yeah, that's the rear entry to, it looks like a bank or something.
Right. Now, you can also have a steel door that looks like this, Fuzzy. Go ahead, hit us with that one. See, now there's another steel door. That really looks nice. It's stamped and embossed with a raised panel, and it really looks
And
good.
they do them smooth, or they do them with wood grain.
Yep.
And the nice thing about the steel doors that I like is that most of the time your weather strip in the frame is magnetic.
Yep.
So all that you do is get the door close, and the door will grab.
Right.
You know, just like your refrigerator seal.
Right. And they tend to be fire-rated doors, which we'll get into a little bit more later, more so than anything else. But then the one problem with the steel door is what, Fuzzy? Oh yeah, look at that right there.
Yes, they do tend to rust.
And then you end up with this huge gap going across there where the rust is where it's all just rotted away and it doesn't seal up anymore.
Somebody has the patent. It's the U-shaped bottom piece with more rubber fingers on it.
Yeah.
So you can repair the door once.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if it comes up like 4 inches on each side, then you could actually just rivet the whole thing on there, and it'd be good
Yes,
as old.
that might be a bit excessive, though.
Yes, but if you wait long enough, your steel door could look like this, and then now it's cool again. See how that works?
If it doesn't fall apart first.
Right.
Right?
And that's a steel door from Venice, I think, something like that. It was a steel door. Steel.
That's one of those doors you don't need a handle. You just push through.
Right.
You
Yeah.
just-
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah. So steel doors are really good. I think security-wise, they work really well. They're always going to come insulated, so there'll be a decent R value to them. The downside is they dent, and they rust. And
they're also probably one of the least expensive.
Yes. So
you need a garage access door for your garage, not between your house and your garage, but garage service door.
Yep.
At 3068, you could probably pick it up for $75 pre-hung.
Right. And it's
So
right.
you really can't beat it that way. And if it rusts out in 4 years, $75, it's just hanging the door can be a pain.
Right. Right. But I mean, budgetary reasons, you need a door. Steel door's a great option.
The metal's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
But then you want to go step up from there. The better ones are going to be your fiberglass doors.
Now, there's just a basic fiberglass looking door. You can't tell
Your
that
standard 6-panel.
Yeah, and it's not. You can't. You could get a steel door to look like that. You can get a wood door to look like that. Just a basic generic fiberglass door. But something maybe most people don't know about the fiberglass is you can get them to look like that right there too.
Yeah, most fiberglass doors can be stained with gel stain and be made to look just like wood.
Yes, and it's amazing. Insulation qualities are really good.
Chuck it because it looks like wood. I wouldn't.
If a woodchuck could chuck wood, then it would.
Well, if a woodchuck could chuck wood, he'd chuck as much wood as he could.
Oh, see, there you go. So, go ahead and explain the fiberglass here and the options we've got with
outside,
fiberglass.
obviously, your fiberglass door, you can get in smooth or you can get it wood grain embossed as well. They don't rust. They don't dent. They have a higher R value than a steel door because they are not conductive, where the steel is conductive. And most steel doors typically actually have a wood edge, so that's your thermal break.
Yep.
Probably the only downside to a fiberglass door is that your weather strip is compressive. In other words, if you don't adjust your door properly, you won't get a good seal. But most of the time, that's hard. Most of the time, it's fine.
Right. And
So
that's just,
fiberglass would be the door of choice for most people.
right. It's going to be a little more expensive than the steel door, but in a lot of cases, it's going to come in equal to or less than a solid wood door. And cost-wise, they're going to be about the same. They don't have to look like the previous picture. You can get them. You can order them pre-stained from the factory, so they come looking just like that. You have to be careful.
Something else too is that the fiberglass is stable, so that wood door that it looks like, that wood door could grow 1/4 of an inch every between the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Expansion and contraction. Fiberglass door is not going to expand and contract like that. So once you get that door set in the opening, shim properly, it should stay like that.
Right, right. And now, like we were talking about in the wood picture where we had the wood and it was stained and there were the issues with that, where the sun had bleached it out. The sun will bleach the fiberglass stained ones out too because, again, it's in the finish. It's not the actual door. So, security-wise...
Well, and they tell you usually, like I said, we try to get at least a 10-foot overhang over the door. So, you think about most homes, the door's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is. If you got an overhang at all, it might be a 3-foot awning.
Right, right. But
Made of aluminum.
right. And I think most of the manufacturers are requiring what, half the distance of the height of the door as an overhang? Isn't that what they read normally?
Well, it helps, but again, it depends which side your door's on. If it's on the east or west side, it's always going to get more. If it's on the north side, you're pretty much golden.
Right. It's not going to get sun beat.
So, and we should touch on it because, well, we
got a minute.
But so storm doors, though.
Yeah.
Majority of door manufacturers will void the warranty of your door if you put a storm door on there that is unvented, meaning if it's not screened, if it's a glass door, a full view glass,
yep,
that'll actually capture so much heat that the plastic moldings they use around the windows and that can literally melt and deform,
yes,
and they won't warranty it.
Yeah, they do. And any moldings that happen to be applied, like a steel door with an applied molding, those moldings then will also melt and or bend and start to cause problems there too. So some of the steel doors, it's a flat steel door and they just make it look like a 6-panel by putting some applied moldings on it that are generally plastic. So, all right. So I think we got pretty close there. We kind of just went over all the different options. And,
well, no, the one last one, and I'm only going to spend 10 seconds on it, is custom iron or metal doors.
See, I forgot. We're going to have to do that after this break.
I do a lot of them because of the high-end homes. So we do a lot of custom-made, big doors.
Right. Well, so we'll talk about some of that stuff in the next segment here. And I think I got a couple of pictures for you, too. We'll be back right after this.
This is Mighty House. Mighty House will return.
Clear.
Cool.
35-second delay, is that about right?
Somewhere around
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not even seeing it at all here.
And I'm responding to people.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, but hey, how you doing?
Max Chagrin is in studio.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Jeff is saying hi. Let's see here. Who else have we got over here? Because they can all hear us. It's just Bruce. It's just Bruce on the YouTubes.
Really?
That's all I have.
All right. Well, thanks for being there, Bruce.
Hey.
Click on that. What is that kind of button there? The bell.
It's the bell. Yeah. It's a
Click on the bell, so that way we'll notify you.
Yep.
I tried responding to him, so hopefully he gets that.
No worries.
All right.
I can kick that back over whenever you fellas are ready.
Yeah, and then let's see. We are. How to determine what style or material. And I've just got
3, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then I've just got a bunch of different pictures with all the custom stuff in there too, Rich. Along with, so we'll just scroll through some of those, and then I've got the fire.
So what do we have left? One or you have 2 more segments or 1 more segment?
One more door segment, and then we got the email segment.
Yep.
Okay. Then that should work out just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Smoking through this one. It still takes an hour sometimes, but it feels like it goes way
close,
faster.
yeah.
But it always seems to take an hour.
Well, it's because I just have the timing down.
Is that
I'm
what
trying
it
to
is?
stretch you guys a little bit.
Well, the first segment we didn't even bother. We just ran over that
You just
clock.
went right over.
Pull the Robbie.
Yeah, we just blasted right
Oh,
by.
that's okay. I got you guys in time
All right.
because we
All right,
started
bring us
late.
back.
Okay, stand by.
Here we go.
See, I work construction. I build things. I don't know if y'all realize the pressure a man like me's got on him.
This is Mighty House.
All right, you can join us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Periscope Live right now. And it's brought to you in part by Mr. Floor. Cleaning products are all non-toxic and environmentally safe, and you can learn more at mrfloor.com. And check him out over there. He's got a lot of great stuff, and he'll ship out that cleaning product all over the U.S. So go ahead and give it a try.
To you?
It's great stuff. What's that?
To you.
To me? Yeah.
I'll ship it right to you.
Right to you, right to your door.
See, that door's only a single door.
Yeah, that's a single door.
I know. I probably won't be able to fit through that one.
Nope. Hey, wait. Go ahead. Go back.
Nope.
Go back. Go back to our regular backdrop. Oh, yeah. Real quick. Now here we're going to show you a custom door that Rich has got. Can you do it? There he goes. Okay, so there's our normal custom door. Rich,
Yes.
I want you to walk right
Now
through
I
that
can
side
go
light.
in that house.
See? Come on out. Hey!
When you stand there, he disappears behind you.
Yeah, I know. It's perfect. I have to stand right there, and then it works. That is awesome.
Fun stuff. All right.
So there's a custom
Get
door.
back to this. So
Yep.
we got through the different types of materials for the doors and some of the pros and cons. Now we're going to talk about choosing an entry door. So the toughest part's the style. You know, what, like that one behind you.
Yep.
Well, the one that was behind you, that's your 4-panel or, you know, your arch top.
Right.
2-panel doors, right? Raised panels.
Yep.
Pretty colonial looking, would look good on a house. That one there, Federalist style, with that 8-panel.
Yep. Yeah, if you've got an older antique,
over it.
Yeah, if you've got an older home that's on the historic register or something like that would really look good.
Right. So you wouldn't put round panels on that. That would just look bad.
No, nor would you put that door on this house.
Oh, the pivot door.
Yeah. How many of those do you install?
So, those pivot doors are really nice, and they're very popular in the West Coast and actually here in Florida. We have a problem with them because of hurricane.
Oh, they don't.
Wind-driven rain. You actually have to put in a linear drain on the inside of your door.
Wow.
Because it'll just, you know, there's no way you're going to seal that door.
Right.
So it will blow water in, and you just put a drain in there. If you do it with porcelain tile or something, you don't even notice it. It's just another, you know, 1/4-inch groove.
Got it.
But if you don't plan for it, and I wouldn't use that on a wood deck, like ours are concrete floors.
Yeah, exactly.
That water coming in is not going to, you know, rot your floor.
Right.
They're very cool doors, though. I love them every time I see them.
Right. Zoom back on that one if you can there, Fuzzy. Because here's a custom steel door.
Yeah, and this is a lot what we use. So I have a manufacturer, local guy that I use. We can design any door style, whatever you want. And then we use another company that actually makes them in China. And then they're just bondoed and not powder coated. They just spray them with enamel.
Mm-hmm.
And those are very much what we use a lot down here.
Yeah. Now, does that qualify for hurricane?
Yeah, it depends on the manufacturer. If they did the testing, they have the NOAs, the notice of acceptance, then yes, we can use them.
Okay. So it's not, they have to go, it's not just a certain type of door. That door then, whatever door it is, has to go through that testing agency.
Technically, yes. There is a way around it in some stuff, and we call it rational analysis.
Uh-huh.
So that just means if I had a door that, say it's a 3080 door, and it had an 1 3/4 jam with a real large stop, that door was tested, and I used that same design on my door, rational analysis would say that jam would be adequate. So then you look at all the parts and pieces.
Got it. All right.
Because to test a single door could be too expensive.
Right.
And is that glass behind there just not, so it's not just open?
No, that
looks like frosted glass, which you can get, obviously.
But I mean
behind
behind
glass,
the frosted.
whatever.
No, I think that's just wide open.
In our
then.
case, that would be laminated glass so that it would be, impact resistant.
But then there's no screen in this section right here. That's just open to the outside. Yeah.
Yeah, there's usually no screen.
Okay.
When you live in Florida, you don't have to worry
down
about
here. They don't open the windows anyway.
There we go. What do you got for us next there? See, there's another modern style.
Sure.
Entry door, full
But
glass.
again, look at the lentil over the door, the 2 columns. Everything is linear, right? So you wouldn't use a curve there. Everything is all straight.
Right.
So that suits. So that's what we're talking about. What's the style of your home? So the style will help dictate it.
Right.
Ooh, I know that door too.
See? But
so do you see that where the doorknob normally is? Do you see what that is?
This right here?
Nope, right there.
Right there? Right there.
There.
Up and down is still the same, guys.
Once you get into zone, then
biometric.
Yeah, it's metric. There's a problem.
Biometric. You put your thumb in there
to
open the door. And those are programmable up to 99 people.
Okay.
Wow. Such a birdie.
Which is a very cool lock set.
Yeah. So then you get technically you could get a report on who's been in and out of your house every month or every week.
Believe it or not, that's extremely common in Europe.
Okay.
Germany, Sweden, that's almost all you'll see. You won't see a doorknob anywhere.
Huh. Okay.
It's a biometric lock. Do that, unlocks the door, and then that big pull is just how you get in, open and close it.
Right.
They're very nice, and they're not outrageously expensive. We haven't had a house that I could use it on because, again, if you look at that style,
It's modern.
Not suited to most people's homes here.
Right. It's more of a modern style, and you guys aren't really doing a lot of modern stuff down there.
Not modern. We do transitional, so it's like we got rid of a lot of the Tuscan stuff, but keeping the line straighter, so it's more transition.
Right.
So,
What do you got
show
next?
me another one.
Yeah. So there's that looks like a security
like a storm door. That looks like a voided warranty on a wood door.
That's a voided warranty. Exactly.
Yeah, looks like a fine picture of a voided warranty.
But that's now a security door, and that could be if it's set up for that, and that would have tempered glass in it, security glass. It has the rails that has a better lock than a standard door or a standard storm door. So they're actually a little bit more secure, a little bit harder to get through. So
right.
There's another. See, now that's just a unique door there. That's the full panel glass with and it just that's going straight outside.
Integrated transom and side lights.
Right. Oh, and again, we didn't talk much about transoms, but that is the transom across the top there.
Right.
So
right. It's a side light on top of your door.
Right. Called a transom.
Yes. So the other thing you want to consider is which way your house faces. Okay. So these are all nice looking doors. The iron doors are going to be great for almost any direction. But again, your wood doors, you really don't want them facing east or west.
Yeah, or south, I don't think really, because I mean that sun's tracking across there the whole time. Wood, it'll just get beat up. Now, if you've got a big enough overhang or a porch, then you can get away with it, or even trees. So if you have a lot of tree cover, then you can get away with some of those things that maybe you can't. So that works pretty good. Now, these are some serious fire doors here. That was one that I found. It's those generally are going to end up being steel and a little bit heavier duty, insulated and all that stuff. And then what do you got?
Yeah, but that looks like a commercial door. Where would I need a fire door on my house?
Go to the next one there. Let's see what we got next. There's a fire door. See, that's just a standard 6 panel. It's got a nice little check mark on there, letting you know that it's a fire door.
What's the check mark for?
I don't know. It was the only one I could find that just looked like a basic door, but it had this goofy check mark on it. And then right behind you there, Rich, you can see right there is the tag.
Yeah, that's the label.
And that's showing you.
And is that showing a 20 or 60 minute?
I do not know. Go to the next slide there, Fuzzy.
Okay.
What do you got? There is a regular fire code, and that one is a 30-minute. Is that what that says? Oh, it's a 3 hour.
3 hour.
That's a 3 hour one. Okay, so that and
that's pretty heavy duty. Most of the doors, so your house needs to have a 20-minute rated door between your house and garage, and it should be self-closing, whether you use spring-loaded hinges or a door closer.
Right.
And me personally, I like using the closers.
Yeah, a regular closer.
Well, they make smaller residential styles, but they have a locking feature. So if you're bringing in your groceries, you can kind of lock it open.
Right. Now,
so that's a lot nicer than
that
struggling
3
with the
hours
door every time you come through.
That means that's how long it takes for the fire department to come get me, right? Or how long I have to get out of the house?
No, that's how long it takes for the fire.
It takes for the fire to burn through the door.
Burn through the door. Now, go ahead, hit the next slide. Let's see what we got next up. See if I left. Oh, there we go. So there, you've got all these different rated doors and different colors. So depending on what the local codes are requiring, you can get up to, like he said, it's a 20-minute door that's behind Rich right there. And then they just progressively go up. And can you read all of those off there, Fuzzy?
I've got 20, then 45, 60, 90, then 3 hours.
There you go.
Now, the interesting thing is that those are all held on with 2 tiny trim nails, so they're interchangeable. God forbid they be tamper-proof screws or something.
So you go back to.
You're supposed to have a special license to hang fire doors, like cut the hinges in and everything, because they got to have rabbited jambs. And,
really?
You can't use a standard door frame.
Oh no. But see, and if you find one with the check mark on it like this, that way you know it's good.
It's a door.
It's a door, and it's fire rated if it's got that check mark on it.
Or a hockey family lives there.
Yes.
I don't know where you found that. That's funny. Check mark.
Okay.
So you're gonna be walking through the box door looking for check mark on
Right.
the doors, and guys like, what are you looking for? Oh, fire doors.
Yeah, fire doors. It's got to have a check mark on it saying
Just
that it's a
spray
fire.
painting doors,
I saw
Right.
fire door.
I saw it on the internet. It must be true.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Okay, so we've talked hurricanes, security doors.
Talk fire, and just touch on security a little bit more.
Okay.
We touched on it, but
Yeah.
then we could wrap into that doorknob situation.
Right. There you go. So you've got if you are looking for like a basic Schlage door, something like that. What are they? A quick set. Those the latches are very, very basic. They don't really go into it.
Schlage, M-Tech, all pretty straightforward stuff.
Right. And they all have the same pot metal interiors. So you can upgrade into some other security doors or security lock sets. Baldwin makes some really good stuff. Not the stuff at the big box store. Go to a regular hardware store. Get the Baldwin. They've got some. You're
Well, if
looking.
there's any regular hardware stores left like that.
Yeah. Like I get them from our locksmith here in town, and I can order a Baldwin from him, but I have to order it. So you just
I
watch
mean,
for it.
even online is not bad because they use a lot of Rocky Mountain hardware.
Yep.
Ashley Norton, M-Tech. So yeah, you can buy some better stuff.
That's it. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is Mighty House. Mighty House will return.
Bolt.
All right, there we go. Okay. What's it say? What are they saying on the Facebook?
I'm just saying hi back at it.
Oh,
Yeah, we've got Jeff. He's having trouble keeping the signal. I apologize for that, Jeff. We're getting it great here. You can come over. Apologize, but you'll also be. Where can we watch it afterwards?
you go to YouTube.
YouTube?
It'll be on YouTube, posted there. It will also be posted at Facebook. You
Yep,
just go to our
Facebook's.
videos.
And then, as always, podcasts are available too. You don't get to look at the doors during the podcast,
Right.
but at least you get to hear about them.
Oh, you know what else I did this week?
What's that?
It is now.
What'd you also do this week?
Thanks, Rich. So if you go to our Mighty House website, right on the home page, you scroll down a little bit, you can watch this episode. It'll be posted for a week, so you'll always see the current week's video posted there. So
Okay.
it'll be right on our home page at mightyhouse.net, and you'll be able to watch it right there. Or you can send other people there.
Nice.
So
When's Andrew coming back?
when's Andrew coming back?
Ouch! Ouch!
No offense, Fuzzy Robbie. Didn't mean it that way. I just know he was checking out the
Ouch.
schools.
Oh, when he's done with school, maybe we can get him back after he's
Yeah.
done. Yeah. Yeah, who knows? That
But
might
somebody's
work.
got to be taking care of your social media stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Okay, so we got the one email. We're going to do the crawl space one. Crawl
Okay.
space email, because I've got more pictures.
Oh, that's right. You got crawl space pictures.
So are we ready?
Let me just find those crawl space pictures.
I don't know if I've got them in the correct order. Scroll them through there real quick.
I don't have crawl space pictures.
No? You have email picture, though.
Ooh, I do have email pictures.
I was very
Email
specific.
pics. There it is. I got them.
So should I look real quick?
I've got dirt,
Show-
concrete, and encapsulation.
Okay, so we're going to go dirt, then we'll go concrete, then we'll go encapsulation.
Let's do it. Stand by.
Okay.
Read the question.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we're
stand
not
by,
back
live
yet.
Hold on.
This is get rid of that. Get that off of there.
This is the. Oh, I'm sorry.
Get that
I'm
off
sorry.
of there.
Hold on.
Get that
Oh, my
off of there.
goodness.
There we go. See,
Back
that's
to the front
good.
door.
So that way we're coming back to this.
There you go. Okay.
All right.
Stand by.
All right. We're back. That's what Fuzzy Robbie says anyway. So you can join us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Periscope Live right now. And it's brought to you by Mr. Floor. Mr. Floor cleaning products are all non-toxic and environmentally safe, and you can learn more at mrfloor.com.
.com.
And something else we've been talking about now that we're back on the air for the podcast, you can also just go to mightyhouse.net, and you'll be able to watch this show and previous shows right there, right on the homepage. And there'll be links to all of that because Max Chagrin puts all that stuff on the homepage, and you links to all the different places that you can listen to the podcast.
Mr. Floor was last week.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah, you had a good time. And of course, you
It was
can.
a good show.
Yeah, and you can sign up for the newsletter too. If somebody was to do that, how could they do that, Rich?
Just go to mightyhouse.net. You know, where the home, you got the links.
Yep.
Go to the Contact Us page and go ahead and put in your first and last name, your email address, and click on Boom Done. And once a week, you'll get the newsletter with the ideas to tell you what's coming up on the show or what we just taped and
Right.
what's coming up next, and then links to sponsors and products and whatever helpful stuff we got.
All that fun stuff. Yeah, that's exactly it. And do you have the email song? Do we have that?
Yeah.
Do we? Because we need to do the email song now. 'Cause we didn't do that last week. No, we didn't, because we just ran long with Mr. Floor. So
That's okay.
that's all right. We were good. Oh, there it is.
Email, we get email.
This is the part where Robbie sings.
Email every day.
We're not going to sing.
Here's your mail today.
All right, there we go. The email this week, we were posting some stuff on Facebook about crawl spaces. And so somebody wanted to know, do you have more information and tidbits for crawl spaces? Old and dingy, still a pile of dirt. Let's see. Hers is old and dingy. It's still a pile of dirt for floor base and 60-year-old house. Happens that the furnace is there also, accessing it from a hatch in the floor. So hit us with that first picture there, Fuzzy. There you
Sounds
go.
like my old house in Oak Forest.
Yeah.
And mine wasn't even that nice.
This one's an actually nice, clean, bright. It's got lights. So this one's bad. There's some really nasty ones out there. And so if you have something like this, and that's a dirt floor, how can we address this one?
Well, before we address it, let's talk about what the problem is with it.
Okay.
So this was pretty common. And if you look all the way through, I see a bright spot, which tells me there's a vent in there.
Yep, right there.
So what's happening is the moisture from the ground is coming up through that dirt, and they're putting a vent there so that it goes outside.
Mhm.
Now, if your air handler is in that crawl space, you're sucking in moisture, dirty air, cold air if it's winter, or hot air if it's summer. So now you're trying to treat it, right?
Yep.
So there's a lot of bad things about having that. That's how we always used to do it. That's the 40s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
That was how it was done.
That was normal. That was a normal way of doing it. And you conditioned it, and that's why you'll see a lot of times people will have insulation in there because the floors were really, really cold in the winter. So
Yes.
that's how they would insulate that then. And then it falls
But they
down.
could have saved a bunch of time and trouble not insulating the floor, but actually fixing the crawl space. And
Correct.
to fix it would be a mud slab.
Right. You got that next one there, Fuzzy? So what we would do is
Put
level
down a
this out.
Yep. A 6 or 10 mil vapor barrier.
Mm-hmm.
And
Plastic.
then pour 2 inches of concrete. And it doesn't have to be pretty. That looks like an ice rink.
Yes, that's a fresh pour there. Something else that I like to do is put in a sump pit, even if you don't have water issues. Still throw in a sump pit and run drain tile all the way around the perimeter before you pour that. That way, if there is any moisture or water, groundwater coming up through there, that will take care of it. And that'll address it and take it and get it out so that way it stays nice and dry in your crawl space. So
Now, that's good. That's a good step. That what we've just taken care of is moisture evaporation from the earth up into your house.
Mhm.
And we gave you a place to lay on a creeper and zoom all around your crawl space.
right.
And a great place to hide Christmas
But it's still not
presents.
energy efficient. We still have very cold walls
Right.
next to our floors.
Right. So if we went back to that previous picture where we had that vent, we would close up that vent, seal it off, this one right there, and then we'd go
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one right there. And then you can do a couple things. You can have somebody come in and spray some closed cell foam all the way around the perimeter so that you go from this concrete floor here all the way up to where the floor starts. Not just to the floor joist, but go past the floor
Not to
joist.
the bottom of the joist, but where the wood sheathing, the floor deck.
Right, and you can go around the perimeter and spray that all solid and put 2 to 3 inches of foam up there, and that will really make a huge difference. And now the inside of your crawl space is like conditioned air like the rest of your house. If Your furnace is in there. All your ductwork runs through there. You've got a water heater down in there.
Whack.
All of that now is in conditioned space, and you're not having to treat all that humid or cold air that's down in your crawl space.
Well, and you're not getting that musty smell. My first house in Oak Forest was like that. And every time the furnace would come on, all I would get would be this whiff of like damp, rotting wood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just nasty smelling.
Right.
Of course, that's also because when I went down there to clean out my crawl space, it happened to be full of damp, rotted wood. Well, because nobody wanted to crawl in the mud, so it seemed like a good idea to lay wood on the mud.
Sure.
So you didn't have to crawl in the mud.
Sure. Perfect sense. Absolute perfect sense. So, and if you
It's
don't...
amazing to me how people fix things in all the wrong ways and actually make things worse.
Right. So, if you can't afford to have... Because you're not going to spray closed-cell foam on the perimeter of your house and do that by yourself. You're going to have to call somebody in to do that. And if you can't afford to get that done, then what you would do is buy some 2-inch foam board, cut it, glue it on the wall all the way around the perimeter. All your seams, you would tape your seams up, and that would help also. And then you have go again. That foam board would go all the way up from the concrete floor all the way to the bottom of your floor.
So you do is you cut little blocks and you stick them in there against the rim joist, and
Right.
then you just take some great stuff foam and fill the edges,
and caulk
there's
it
a lot
all
of things you can do to air seal and save a ton of money.
Right.
But that's the nice thing about the codes changing.
Right.
You don't have to you won't have to do that in the new house. It'll be done.
Right. Exactly. So this is the ideal scenario. I know people would say encapsulation is better, but I still like doing it this way because the floor is solid, it's sealed up, it's insulated well. This is called encapsulation, and this is basically like a big swimming pool liner that has welded seams, and they go up the side, they seal it all off. You can see on the back wall here, they came up all the way up the walls, so that now what they're doing is just keeping all that water and all that moisture on the other side of that encapsulation. This is less expensive.
The other thing you'll notice too is that they didn't put more boards down there to crawl. They're not storing all their Christmas stuff. It's crawl space. You're not supposed to be in there. Once it's done, you stay out.
Right. And this is pretty thick stuff, but you can still puncture it and put holes in it. So, if you're going through there with tools and you got boards and stuff, sliding a board on there, you could poke it and actually get it popped loose. So you really got to be careful with it. But encapsulation is a great option too if you can't afford to do it the other way. And the other way is going to cost you probably $15,000 to $20,000 if you were to hire somebody. And
but it depends on your house. I mean, this is such a better way to do it. It just you've got, it just looks a lot better.
It's a lot cleaner.
You don't want to have the smells.
Right. All right. Well, Fuzzy's telling us that's it. We got to get out of here now, just like that.
IC49.
Yes, that's it. So next week, what are we talking about next week, Rich? Do you remember?
What my dog always says.
Woof, woof.
Roofs.
All right. So we're going to talk
My
about
dog's
that.
a builder.
Yeah, there you go. And I just want to say thanks to Mr. Floor again and Mr. Floor Cleaning Products. They're all non-toxic and environmentally safe. And you can check them out at MrFloor.com. And you can check us out at Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you click on the bell and the like buttons and all that fun stuff. That way you'll be notified when we hit the air. And
you got to hit the bell, the notification. Notify when we go live.
That's it. Subscribe and hit the bell when we go live. So with that, Fuzzy's giving us a thumbs up. We'll see you next week.
Oh.
Bye-bye. All right, there we go.
You forgot about keep it square and level.
Yeah, keep it. Yeah, I did that again, didn't I?
That's okay. Wait for it.
You got what's?
No, it doesn't have it on there.
Yeah.
I got you.
So, see, he's rolling that right there at the very end.